Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Shannon and this is Shannon's Book Nook. And I'm officially on Thanksgiving break. So let's get into a reading vlog this week since I have the time. All right, so let me tell you what I'm currently reading. I am reading Have You Seen Her by Catherine McKenzie. This is a book that the publishers Atria have sent me. So thank you so much to Atria for sending this to me to read and give a review. I am currently on page 106. So I just got to chapter 12 and I'm having a good time with it. This is a mystery. There's some confusion on who some of the characters are for me. Um, so yeah, trying to keep all the different people straight and the names straight. I'm having a hard time because the main character, Cassie Peters, has changed her name, and we don't always know what her name used to be until after the fact. So just trying to keep everybody straight is a struggle, but I'm having a good time with it. The mystery is mystifying. And then I am looking at, because I always try to read two books at a time, usually one with my eyes and one as an audiobook. And since I am reading this, like doing a tandem read with an audiobook, so this will count also as my audiobook. I am looking at a digital book on my Kindle to see what I could read. And I have two options. So I currently have a poll up on my Instagram to kind of see which book I want to read. And I actually might do read a chapter of both books and see which one I'm kind of vibing with, because they're both romances and they're both arcs from NetGalley that I need to get read. I am behind on. They're different types of romances. One is a paranormal fantasy romantic suspense, and the other is a historical, like time travel romance set in Scotland. So I have Embrace the Lace by Shannon MacLeod, and I could be saying that wrong. Apologies. So that's the Scottish historical fiction. And the other one is called One Cursed Rose by Rebecca Zanetti. So, yeah, I'm going to do a one chapter challenge for these books and see which one I want to read. And I'm also going to use the poll pick to kind of also help me decide, because right now I really don't know what I'm in the mood for. I just know I want to be reading. I also purchased something that I kind of want to talk about, because it's been a purchase that I have been wanting to get for a couple years now. And I finally bit the bullet and I bought it. It's currently charging right now. So I'm not going to go get it, but I bought a Nintendo Switch and I'm so excited because you know what? I'm on Thanksgiving break and I found a Black Friday deal at GameStop and I could not pass it up. I had not seen prices that low in a good while. So I'm super excited to be playing some Switch games. I did buy one game. Currently, I have only one game, but it's Mario Kart Deluxe 8, and I used to love playing Mario Kart when I was younger. So the nostalgia will get me. I need more recommendations. So if you are a Nintendo Switch player, in the comments, let me know what games you like to play. I've heard about like Stardew, um, oh my gosh, Stardew Meadows, is that what it's called? And then I know about Animal Crossing, and I want to get Crash Bandicoot and Donkey Kong, because I love those classics characters. So I eventually will do that. But I need more Rex. Oh, and Hogwarts Legacy, of course. I'm going to get that one eventually. But I need more Rex. And I'm not like a big time gamey person. So I need things that are going to be like pretty easy to comprehend and what I'm supposed to be doing. So if you got any Rex for me, let me know down in the comments. And I will come back with an update to tell you which book I'm going to be reading for my ebook, my digital book. I'll be back later. Hi. So I have a little bit of an update for you. I'm still reading Have You Seen Her? And I am about on page 250 now. So I have just this much left. So I'm hoping I'll finish this book tonight. And then yesterday I left y'all on a little bit of a cliffhanger because I wasn't quite sure what ebook I was going to be reading. I was trying to decide if I was going to do One Cursed Rose or was I going to read Embrace the Lace. And I kind of did a chapter, like read a chapter and then decide. And I literally fell asleep in the middle of a chapter of One Cursed Rose. So, and then before that, I finished an entire chapter of Embrace the Lace. So that kind of made my decision really easy. I am already 30% into Embrace the Lace and I am loving it. The main female character is very sassy, but also very smart. And she time travels to like 17th century Scotland and doesn't realize that she has time traveled through a like fairy portal. That's what the people in the 17th century call it. And she shows up thinking that she's still in like South Carolina, America, and that she is like participating in this Renaissance festival type thing. I finally gotten to the part where, she has realized something, things are not adding up. She has now realized that she is actually in 17th century Scotland, and she has decided to put her engineering knowledge to good use. It's giving Outlander. There are a lot of things, obviously, that are very similar to Outlander if you ever watched the movie or if you have ever read the books. I've done both. The whole time traveling piece to Scotland, Claire and Brianna and Roger, time traveling. And Brianna, who is Claire's and Jamie's, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen or read the books, their daughter, she's an engineer in like 1960, 1970s in Boston. And she ends up time traveling and she takes her knowledge of like engineering to the 17th or 18th century. That's kind of what's happening in this book. But I'm still having a good time and I'm loving it. And yeah, so I will keep you posted. I want to show off my sweatshirt real quick because I'm obsessed. I am a lot obsessed. So if you don't know, Wicked, I mean, I'm sure, unless you've been living under a rock, Wicked the movie came out on Friday. It is Sunday. I saw it on Thursday. I don't know how that happened. I was looking for tickets on Friday night, and one of my friends who was going to be going with me was like, I can't do Friday night. Is there, you know, anything for the night before? And I was like, I don't think there's anything for Thursday because it doesn't come out until Friday. I said, but let me check. So I checked on Thursday, and sure enough, there was a 7:30 showing. How is that possible? The movie isn't even supposed to be out until Friday the 22nd, but we're going to see it on Thursday the 21st. Um, I'm not going to spoil the movie, obviously, because I don't do that. But, if you love musicals, if you love emotional damage. Look, this movie made me cry multiple times. I was sobbing by the end. I mean, I cried when I saw the live performance, so I knew the movie was going to make me cry. Yeah, I loved it and I want to see it again. I want to see it again already. Will I see it again? I don't know, but I will be buying the movie as soon as it's out because it's going to be on repeat in my house. And I can't believe we have to wait until November 2025 to see part two. Because just if you didn't know, this is not a spoiler. This is only part one of the movie. Like you get all the way up to intermission, which would be Defying Gravity, and then intermission. That's where the movie ends. It says to be continued. And I'm not even mad about it. They have done a great job. They have done a fantastic job with this movie. And I absolutely loved it. I will rave about it. And I know some people don't like Cynthia and Ariana for different reasons, whatever those may be. I had my reservations way back when I heard who was being cast. I was like, man, no, I was wrong. I was wrong. I'm going to say it. I loved it. And some people will say they thought it was okay, whatever. To each your own. I loved it. And I want to see it again. Good morning. So I finished Have You Seen Her last night. Just before I went to bed. I was actually starting to fall asleep and I was like, no, I have like 4 pages left. Let me finish. So I did finish it. I am giving it, I'm between a 3 and a 4. So maybe a 3.5, a 3.5. It was good. A little predictable. So we have the main character, Cassie Peters, who works for a search and rescue team out at Mammoth Lakes, California. And she is working in Yosemite National Park and she is running from something. We know that pretty early on. Or we should say she's running from someone. And we eventually, find out who it is and why. So this might be a little bit of a spoiler, but I feel like it needs to be mentioned. So content and trigger warnings for domestic violence. Okay. If that's something that triggers you, just be very careful when going into this book. Because it is a very big part of the plot. So we actually have kind of 2 perspectives. We have Cassie's perspective, and then we also have a younger girl. She's not like a child, but she is younger. She's like barely an adult. And her name is Petal, and we get her perspective through like journal entries, which was kind of confusing in the beginning because it would shift to Petal's perspective in a journal. And there was different like then and now timelines. So it's a lot to keep up with. So keep that in mind as well, which is why I think I'm giving it more of a 3.5 instead of a 4, because for about 30% of this book, I was like, what is going on? Who, when, where? So, yeah, 3.5. Really enjoyed it. And my other update is I have a bit of a migraine today. So I'm going to kind of take it easy. I was going to go to Half Price Books and sell back some books that I have on my Pango store, and I've had them there for a couple months now and they're not budging. So I'm just going to go ahead and get them off my shelf and take them to Half Price Books. But I don't want to drive with this migraine. I don't want to make it any worse than it already is. So, and I don't want to read on my Kindle because of the bright lights. So I don't know how much reading I'm actually going to get done today with this stinking migraine, which sucks. But I did get my Christmas decorations put up last night. I showed you a little clip. Most of my Christmas decorations are downstairs in the living room area because that's where I spend a lot of my time. I have a couple of like knickknacks on my bookshelves, but because I have so many books, I shouldn't say so many books, but since I have more books than I have in the past, those knickknacks kind of get lost. So I don't know if I'm going to keep them there or maybe move them out of the shelf a little bit more so you can see them when I'm filming in my library. But I love this time of year. I love putting the Christmas decorations up, the Christmas lights. I do have something that can go outside, but I'm actually kind of scared to put it outside. Let me go grab it and I'll show you. Okay, so my parents bought this for me last year, so it's still in the box. And I am a huge Harry Potter fan. And I want to put this out, but I'm also scared that it's going to get damaged or stolen or blown away by the wind because I am right off the bay. So the wind can get pretty strong here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I want to use it, but I don't want it. What am I going to do? I'll probably put it out. But anyways, I'm going to go. I took a shower already. I'm going to make some breakfast and take some of my medicine and hope that this migraine goes away so that I can run to Half Price Books and read and do whatever else I feel like doing today because I am on Thanksgiving break and I love it. So I am planning on unhauling some books that I have read recently. Either I didn't like, or I DNF'd, or I liked them okay, but I never plan on rereading them. So this shelf, ooh, that one over there, this one, there we go. This shelf here is full of books that I want to unhaul. And then you are resting. My cell phone is resting on another shelf of books that are on my TBR. I'm going to kind of look through that because my tastes have kind of changed over the last year or so. And there are books on this shelf that I've had for a year or more. And I'm like, I don't really have any interest in reading these books anymore. And then there are some that I got in a box that I don't have any interest in reading. So I'm going to go through and I'm just going to put these books over here in my bag. And then I'm going to look through these books on this shelf. And I'll come back and show you everything. I'm not going to go into detail because I don't want this to become an unhaul video, but I'll just show you real quick everything I plan on getting rid of. Okay, so here is my shelf, my unhaul shelf in the corner. These are all the books that I plan on taking to Half Price Books to resell. I DNF'd this one, finished this one, gave it 3 stars, 3 stars, 3 stars. So I don't plan on rereading any of these. These were DNFs this series here. Thistlefoot was a DNF. I need to keep this one actually because I have the rest of this series. So I'm going to put that down there for right now. But yeah. And then my shelf over here. No, I don't want to turn it sideways. Let me move my map. Okay. So on this shelf, I don't plan on maybe these two right here because I've had them for a good long while. I might get rid of those. Oops. Here on this shelf, the only ones that I'm kind of thinking about getting rid of would be these down here because these are the ones that were in the box, like a 12 days before Christmas type thing. And then this down here, this is like my romance shelf. I really don't want to get rid of any of those. And then these down here. No, I really don't want to get rid of any of those. So these two up here are really the only two that I'm kind of thinking about getting rid of. I might hold on to them for just a little bit longer and we'll see. So I'm gonna put those back. So yeah. Okay, so I just got home after going to Target, Barnes & Noble, and Half Price Books. So let me explain. I know I left with the intention of selling books. And I did. But before I sold my books, I went to Target because they're having a buy two, get one free. And then I went to Barnes & Noble to see what they had. And I did not buy anything from Barnes & Noble. So I bought 3 books from Target. The first one is Always Mine by Laura Pavlov. I have this on my TBR and I've been wanting to read it, but I love that this has sprayed edges. I think they're stunning. And it just says, he fights fires for a living, but the flames building between us may be too big to extinguish. Nico West is the most beautiful man I've ever laid eyes on. 6 feet 4 inches of broody chiseled Greek god in a firefighter suit. He's also been my best friend since kindergarten. He always says the only solid thing in his life is our friendship. He's Honey Mountain's favorite player, and I'm what you'd call a relationship girl. But when I find myself single for the first time in more than a decade, I make Nico an offer he can't refuse. Who better to show me what I've been missing? But now that we've crossed that line, I don't know if friendship is enough for me. So I've heard great things about this author. I personally have not read anything by this author, so I am super excited to check this book out. Then I bought Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I have the first book and the novella. So I have Powerful and Powerless, I believe are the 2 titles. This is a book club pick. So Powerful, no, that's the novella. Powerless is the first book and Reckless is the second book. We have both of those on our radar for our book club. And the first one is November's pick and the second one is December's pick. And then we're meeting in like January. So after the holidays, because all of us are going to be super busy, it's going to be really hard to find a meeting time. So we just picked a duology to hold us over until our next meeting. And the last book I got, I keep switching all over, but I need my right hand to hold the book up. A Study of Drowning by Ava Reid. And I got the one with the stunning sprayed edges. Absolutely gorgeous with those, but I mean the detail. The detail is stunning. I've heard great things about this book. It's on my TBR, of course, every book that I buy is on my TBR in some way or another. But those are the books that I bought. I did sell that. I had a big old purple bag full of books. There were probably about 20 books in there, give or take. I mean, it may be less, maybe a little bit more. I didn't really count. But they offered me $33, which was about $14 more than I was anticipating. I was thinking like 20. I'll be happy with anything 20 or above. And so when they said 33, I'm like, $13 more than I wanted. Perfect. That sounds good to me. So I took it, I sold those books, and I almost bought a book at half price because it was only like $3.50. I did not buy any books from half price. So these 3 books that I got from Target were the only books that I bought. So I got rid of like 20, but I added 3. Not too bad, if I may say so myself. I could have done a lot of damage at these stores. Target, Barnes & Noble, and half price. I could have done a lot of damage, but I didn't. So I'm proud of myself. But while I was driving, I was listening to the audiobook for Assistant to the Villain, and I am absolutely loving this book. The humor is my kind of humor. I love it. I'm loving it so much, and I want to keep reading it. So I'm going to stop talking so I can go read my book. I'll check in with y'all later. Good morning. No, it's afternoon now. So I just got out of lunch with a friend who I haven't seen in a very long time. It was so nice to see her again. It was great. And we were meeting up to kind of talk about the plan. Oh my gosh, so many birds everywhere. Talk about the plan for Christmas. She's going out of town, and I'm going to be pet sitting for her at her house or her mom's house, both. And so we were just kind of talking about the plan for all of that. And then on my way home, I decided to stop by the beach that is very close to my house. So I will turn my camera around in just a minute and show you what I'm looking at right now. Now, I will say this is not like a Florida beach. This is a very like Texas, gross. I don't get in this water. I've lived in this house for almost 3 years now, and I have been to this beach maybe twice, and I don't get in the water. There are people that do get in the water. It's a great place, a little beach. Okay, so I'm going to show you. So there's a little sandy part over here. And yes, those are ships because this is the port. And there's another one on the other side of that shower over here. So yeah, the little beach. There's a little fishing pier right here, but it got damaged during Hurricane Beryl during the summer, and they have not fixed it. Hopefully they will. But yeah, this is what I'm looking at right now. I'm gonna get out and walk around just a little bit, and I'll check in with y'all later. Whew. Okay, it has been a crazy busy morning already. I am on my way to my brother and sister-in-law's house for Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates. But I shouldn't have done that. Anyways, I've been up since, what time did I get up? 6:30 this morning. I did not get to bed until after midnight last night, and I tossed and turned. So I'm tired, but I've been up since 6:30, heating up the ham, glazing it, making green bean casserole, and it is 10:30, and I need to be at my brother's house at 11:30, and it takes me about, if traffic is good, 30 minutes. If I catch all the lights, could be up to 45 minutes, so I'll make it just in time. But I don't have much of a book update for you. I'm still reading Assistant to the Villain. I'm almost done. I'm at like 88%. And I'm also still reading Beard Science. I'm starting to get the plots mixed up because a lot of the books that I'm reading right now have similar character names, like Evangelina, Effie, and I'm getting people mixed up. So across the books, I'm getting confused. So I'm only going to read Assistant to the Villain right now. When I read that and finish that, then I'll start back up with Beard Science. But yeah, so I'm going to listen to my audiobook as I drive. So I will catch y'all later. Bye. Sorry for the poor lighting. I am in bed. It is like 10:30, almost 11 o'clock. And it's still Thursday. So I have not fallen asleep yet. I did finish Assistant to the Villain by, oh my gosh, what's the author's name? Anyways, I finished it. I'm giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it, but I can't give it 5 stars because I'm not like completely obsessed. And there were some parts where the pacing was an issue, but overall, I had such a good time with this book, and I figured I would, based on the humor that was on the back of the book and the synopsis. I loved the characters and the villain, the broody, like the grumpy sunshine trope that was in this book. And then there's the animal, like the friend, the sidekick animal that was on the side of the story, the background. And he's a frog named Kingsley. Oh my gosh. I loved him. So, yeah, I had a good time with the book. Sorry. I think it's time to go to bed. But anyways, it ends on a pretty interesting cliffhanger. I am so tired that the words are not wording. But anyways, it ends on a pretty big cliffhanger, and thank goodness I have book 2. So if I have time in December, maybe in the beginning of December, I'm hoping to read book 2 and get that one done because, yeah, I don't want to forget anything, and the longer I wait, the more I'm going to forget. So anyways, I'm going to go to bed because I'm very tired, and I will see you all in the morning. Bye. All right, I am coming in hot with an update on this Friday evening. I have done a little bit of reading today. I have read another, 20, 30 pages of Beard Science by Reid, and I am loving this book. Now, the main female character, and right now I'm drawing a blank on her name, but her parents need to get a freaking clue. They're terrible people, and they're just so controlling of her life. Sarah? Is that her name? Sarah. That kind of sounds right. Anyways, she is a baker. She's very good at what she's known as the pie queen in this small, I want to say Tennessee town. And she loves baking, but her mother micromanages everything, like down to her outfit, the color of her nails, the color of her hair, and the cut of her hair, the way she presents herself for the business. And her parents don't allow her to live on her own. They have homeschooled her. She is very, very sheltered. And she has very little autonomy. And it is insane. And I didn't know going in how much this storyline would trigger me for some reason. It is so frustrating to see how sheltered she is. And she ends up blackmailing Cletus Winston. And Cletus is helping her learn to become her own person, to learn how to talk to guys, because her goal in life is to meet a man, get married, and have babies. She doesn't realize how little control she has on her life until Cletus comes in. And I've gotten to the point of the story where they are finally figuring out that they have this attraction to each other, but they're fighting it. Like they're like, no, I'm just going to ignore it and pretend like this doesn't exist. I'm going to need them to very quickly get past this, because I love the power that he is giving her, and she's finally starting to stand up for herself, and I freaking love it. I'm loving this story so much. And I'm not reading anything else right now. That's a lie. My nighttime, like bedtime story is one of my Christmas arcs. But I haven't read very much of that. And I'm actually kind of struggling with it. I'm not connecting very much, but that's also probably because it's not one of my books that I focus on. It's one of those that I kind of open up to read while I'm in bed on my Kindle. So I have a feeling that it's going to make the rating suffer, unfortunately. But it is what it is. So I'm going to eat dinner. And then I'm going to do my happy color for the day while I listen to my audiobook. And then I'm probably going to watch Big Bang Theory or Friends. Those are on constant repeat in my house, if you didn't know. I'll talk to y'all later. Good morning. So I am going to go ahead and close this vlog out. Last night, me should have done this, but she was too tired. So I had a pretty good week. That tends to happen when I'm not having to go into work and I'm completely exhausted from the day. So I am happy with everything that I've read this week. And I appreciate you sticking around for this long. And if you did get to this point, don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe if you want to. If you want to let me know you were here in the comments, just leave me a turkey emoji, because this was Thanksgiving week. So a turkey emoji. And I will see y'all next time. Bye, guys.